I'm going to talk about how to get job interview and land your dream job in Malaysia. So I'm expecting that my audience will be more on cybersecurity, information security people that in IT related field that finding a job or maybe still in university looking for the opportunity to join or to brace yourself to enjoy industry. So let me introduce myself. My hacking name is OXU. So I'm currently doing senior cybersecurity in one of major company in Malaysia. So I cannot tell which company. To the people that know which company I'm working, just PNC. So day by day, I'm doing offensive and defensive security. So it's me, I'm doing the attacking and defensive, like kind of giving remediation, how to resolve the issue and finding attack vector, doing attack surface management, threat management, and that kind of stuff lah. Like corporate industry, more like corporate slave industry. So before I start my presentation, I would like to say the future is not written, it can be changed by Dr. Emmett Brown from the famous movie. I think Bad Future. Yeah, Bad Future movie. So what I try to say, everything future is not written, it can be changed by your decision. So in here, I got 3 topics. It's not going to be very long. Number 1, who am I? So who I am, not going to tell about me, more on about your guys' preparation. And then second, please hire me. I'm skilled, but how to show. And then number 3, fly to the moon. So this the last result lah. So in the first, who am I? So why I put this as a topic? Because in here a quote from War. I think War from Zoo. If you know the enemy, know yourself. So it means you need to know who you are first in order to prepare to go war. And then you need to know who's you against. You need to research what's your company, what's your potential, everything. And here, before I go to more deep on talking about that topic, I would like to make a clear space. So first thing, you need to define what you want and let's proceed it. It means, let's say I have 2 examples over there. I want to be security analyst at Big 4 company or leading cybersecurity company. It means you already have specific what you want to be. You want to be security analyst in Deloitte, PwC, or very big leading cybersecurity companies such as Dell, HP, or Lenovo. And second is I want to work in cybersecurity industry. Both of them look very same. However, it's different because in the first one, you already specific your target, what you want to achieve, what your expectation in the future. And the second one is general. So here, you need to define what you want to be. For example, let's say I want to become a security analyst, cybersecurity, networking and management. So I find all the job in that particular area I wanted to be. So rather than I just say, oh, I just want to join cybersecurity industry. That's all without a purpose. So at least over here, you need to find what kind of working industry you want to be because cybersecurity is big. They have offensive, defensive, programming, and such on. So in here, I have 3 ingredients in to idea for career lah. So number 1, you are good at it. Second, you are enjoy doing. Third, growth and scalability. So what does mean you are good? Basically telling that you are good. For example, let's say it's me. I'm good on finding vulnerability. Yes, I'm good at it. I enjoy it. And then in the future, growth scalability, I can become pen tester. I can be red teaming. That's kind of example. Because in career, you need to look at the future. Let's say I take example. Oh, I just want to become IT support. So what's your future? How to grow as an IT support? Maybe you can become a lead in IT support or maybe another opportunity. But again, it's being questioned a lot that people asking, I enjoy you doing it. Are you really good? Or I just you work because you need money? That kind of thing. Because cybersecurity, you need have really good passion and then good passion. Because a lot of issue is going on around, for example, zero-day attack, how you're going to handle that, how you're going to exploit management. Later on, I will talk that more. So to continue for the ingredient, the three ingredient I give, you go with it, you enjoy it, and then grow and scalability. So, for example, I believe all my audience is a student. So, it's my advice or my tip: learn as much as you can, experiment it. For example, let's say you have VM or virtual environment, you have Kali Linux, you have Windows or Ubuntu. You experiment how to do pen test. Then after you experiment that, and then you learn how to protect it from DDoS, for example, any kind of attack network layer, for example. Because in this era, I mean this stage, you will not find your path until you try a few things and fail. Like example, let's say me. My background is not cybersecurity. I'm from network security. I'm more on infrastructure side. But how I can become cybersecurity is more on few things that I try. I figure out what I wanted to be. So, and second, for me, don't take easy route because as you know, a few book a book that successful not books so successful, a few book that productivity that mention in order for you to achieve the productivity, they have a process of the graph that will go down a bit, then you can go up. So it means progress always come with this comfort before you're able to progress yourself. Because when you study, you do not see how much you progress. You do not notice it until you go through all the things and you master it. So it goes to everyone. For example, mathematics. You did since I mean young age, you do not know how to calculate. Then you learn, and then you become good in mathematics calculation. For example, third thing, fundamental. Why is fundamental is very important? Because for me, let's say you want to be a cybersecurity and pen testing. You learn all these things. You experiment all these things. But my question is, what you're learning is relevant to industry? Maybe or overlearn? Is it over much you learn or you a bit serong daripada path, something like that? So the mentor is guide you to give back on the proper path or right path. So from there, that's a purpose of mentor giving advice. So fourth is invest high quality relationship. So it's mean you enjoy with hanging out around people in this circle because everyone have different way perspective, with different view. Same goes in company. Because let's say you join a new company, you talk a lot of good people. Some people you think it's not good idea. Some people giving a good idea. From there, you take it all the output and input and digest it to understand. So from there, it's just a basic for you to preparing yourself before you jump to join company or industry. That's another way to look, for example. And then lastly, never give up your integrity. Nothing worth following your standard. This more on myself. Like I say, I have a few of experience I like to share. So back then when I was studying, I made two friend. We hanging out with each other, and then I introduced them to my mentor, and then because they are my friend, so you know you like to helping your friend, and then the more day by day we are studying together in cybersecurity, we're doing all these things, and suddenly opportunity come to offering an internship out of nowhere. One of my friend in the circle backstabbed me to order to get the internship. So it's mean he low his standard in order for him to get internship. Some kind of that scenario. I believe you everyone all go through this kind of experience before. So what I would like to say, please polish your not polish, like firm your standard. Never put lower of yourself. Because for me, you will not able to be better if you keep doing this. Or maybe another couple of example. Let's say we are in the one circle and then you wanted to you want to ask help for people, but you don't want to tell what you want ask them to help, and then you keep twisting around all the information, telling me A, telling another friend B, never keep because you don't want to share anything. So from there, kinda a difficulty to everyone. So because when you job interview, whatever you say as management or hiring manager we can know your pattern, we can read yourself. So much likely in terminate, we can know which character you are. So that's why in this field, I will always put show your standard, how much your standard is. So before I go, or I go continue. So this is a graph. So over here you can see it's go down that you get multiple rejection. This is reality. You get multiple rejection when you're applying a job. So you never get whatever like other people. I know we heard a story that 70 years old get five-figure salary per month. Yes, then different people different way they get opportunity. But let's do reality check. This is reality in Malaysia. Even me, I'm go through quite a lot of rejection. If not just a top company, even the small startup company also reject me. They thought I'm not very good. So because when you feel like you get rejection, you feel like, oh, I'm worthless, or that kind of having a second thought about yourself. But trust me, once you find the opportunity, a right company, you will progress, go on top. So that's why in second graph I show you be better and better. So don't give up whatever you do. Just keep continue. So this is a bit rough about my experience. So in February in 2020, I applied and then I got interview, which fantastic. And then suddenly the role got cancelled due of reorganization. It means internal team they rebrand of themselves, whatever. So the role is not open. And then June, I got reached out by another opportunity interview, but I did not get selected. And then I'll be failed in the last stage. And then July, I still continue, keep up under disability. And Alhamdulillah, I can say in one day, they decide to hire me. So 3 attempts to fail in 5 months. That's why I relate to this graph. Where if whatever you do, job interview, don't even give up yourself. Just keep applying because there are some of interview will be give feedback to you which area that you could be improved. For example, your communication, your presentation, or whatever. But for me, it's very depending on who your hiring manager, who your interview, or which company. Sometimes they will never give feedback unless you ask. But again, you need to keep follow up closely lah. So this I'm gonna give some reality check. The competition was insane. It's crazy. You can assume like every year maybe 5,000 or more people graduate in IT, same industry with you. In order for you to become a top, different for other, number one, networking. So what kind of networking you can do? Maybe go LinkedIn and then telling who you are. And then maybe you go conference, for example, Awards Malaysia, ROSSEC, for example. Maybe join virtual conference, talking with another good people, another people that already joined industry, for example. From there, you can make a couple friend. I can take example, Elite Ghost community member. That's one of my first step when I was in diploma study. I'm looking for who's people already working industry. I would like to know what they thought, what they're gonna think about the future, that kind of stuff lah. So this networking will help you. Let's say, oh, actually I'm looking for internship. Could you recommend me? So sometime, let's say in my company, we open up internship. Maybe we can recommend you to join in. That's a power of networking. Second, extra mile. So what is extra mile? I would like to say, let's say every year, 5,000 people graduate, all holding degree. It doesn't matter first class, second class, or second first class. Doesn't matter what grade you are. But how we gonna know you be different for other people out there? Be outstanding. Maybe you can take certification. Maybe you can attending volunteeration. Maybe you can take a free course online, or maybe you join some competition. Let's say CTF, capture the flag, something like that. you join a lot. So this extra mile pushing you to make you are very different from all security people a lot there lah. A lot of people there. So show how much value you are. So I think it's good giving example for you guys lah how I can become land in senior management role in cybersecurity. So I think back then January 2021 I just graduated from diploma. So that time I was working with associate security consultant in one of vendor company. Most of the time being I'm doing pen testing. So and July 2020, sorry, this is not July 2020, it's supposedly September 2021. I start the list, how to say, further my study to degree because that time I don't have degree. So, and then I'll give a thought like, hey, I'm going to join, my target to join Big Four company. Most of the Big Four human resource company require me a degree at least in order for me to join. But right now I don't have degree. So I'm like, you know what? Let's take a step back. Let's further myself to go UK, take 1 year degree because over there they have a top up program. So I go there for opportunity and finish study by May 2022. So starting in June 2022, I started hunting job in Malaysia. Like because back then when I already January until May, I hunting job but in UK. So why I do that? I polish myself, polish my skill before I go the actual hunting job period in June 2020. That's my plan lah. Because UK and Malaysia, which you can say UK cybersecurity way more better. So I would like to go in high level before I go average level. That's I put my mindset lah during that time. So in June, just 1 month, multiple of fellow of job interview. And lastly, I landed my dream job as senior management because, as you remember, go back to number 5, don't know your standard, which you know what you want to be, just go for it. For example, a company offer you something role that not online what you wanted to be, just rejected. Yes, I know rezeki, jangan tolak, but this is your future, what you want to be. So sometimes you need to become a bit, not, not in good word, greedy, because you want to be what you want to be in future. Because in order for you to be successful, you need to have a passion and you need to do something that you really like it. And second topic, I would like to say, please hire me. So please trust me, I'm skilled enough to do work. So in order for you to tell management or hiring manager you are very good, but before that, I don't have skill. I assume my audience very fresh graduate, they don't have skill. So how to get skill? How to verify? So there are multiple ways. This I give a sample that I really did, and I do that as well. So number one, join a cybersecurity, a webcast training. One example we can take Sun, Black Hill Information Security. So yesterday, Sun's doing webcast about Red Teaming Azure. I also joined in a 2 hour. For people like it's not much, but for hiring manager, that's the way of you justify that you're good in this particular domain. For example, you're good in cloud pen testing. What you do? So you tell you join webcast, all this free training, something like that. Sorry. So number two, volunteer at security conference. For example, DEFCON, RTV, Red Team Village, Blue Team Village. I believe this weekend will be DEFCON. So I'm also volunteering for Blue Team Village. So I'll join that, participate lah, volunteering. Why I'm volunteering? Like using all my weekend because this is again networking. You networking, talk with people, not just Malaysia, but outside the world. Knowing people, what is current threat, what's the current issue, how they do something particular thing and resolve it. Sometimes I look the way of their management, how they organize a team, how they control the crowd, all these things I look and study it. Because again, this number two can be justified that you are very passionate on cybersecurity. You really do it what you wanted to be do. So number three, maybe everyone can do. Try to make organize a security awareness seminar or talk, or maybe just a simple awareness telling like, hey, if you click this phishing link, what's gonna be happen? Or if you click download this PDF, you can able to get access your phone. Just a sample end user awareness, something like that. And number four, you can create a cybersecurity blog or write up. For example, let's say one of my student right now, she doing go fishing. So maybe she can document how she configuration the go fishing. So go fishing is a tool to simulate phishing attack. So while she doing configuration until successful level can be accessed by everywhere, she can document as evidence that she know all this particular thing and maybe can publish in GitHub or maybe Medium as of the example. So what's the tips for you? Let's say let's take examples of LinkedIn as your networking. So profile picture, you need to use a good profile picture showing who you are. Because profile picture is first impression for manager. No joke. It's first impression. If you seleke rambut macam ni, there's people say, oh, this guy is lazy. Because again, human nature untuk judging people is there. Second, leverage a keyword. So what's mean leverage a keyword? Right keyword is mean like you need to understand. Yes, let's say the job hunter. They not know much about cybersecurity. They know a bit piece, but they do not know much detail. So in your, let's say, about you put keyword, whatever, let's say, Cisco product, and testing, vulnerability assessment, that kind of stuff lah. And number three, you write a killer headline in your LinkedIn. Let's say, this is my formula, keyword, skill, result focus, value, proportion. But I believe all fresh graduate, they have result. So maybe you can put a keyword or skill on your headline lah. And number four, write a killer about. Again, same goes to a leverage keyword. So you tell about a short paragraph, speak about yourself. Let's say, oh, Bryden, a good social engineering teacher, being presented in Malaysia and teaching people how to do conducted social engineering assessment, for example. And then number five, leverage your feature section. So show what you've done on your term. Let's say you be participant voluntary, be participant conference, you part of member. Lastly, skill matter. So in LinkedIn, you can put value that you know testing. Maybe you blue team configuration. So you put all these 6 things into CV. So this is a sample of my CV. Say here the title, vulnerability engineer, penetration testing, threat teaming, and then profile statement. Like say you tell about I'm self-motivated, passionate learner, fast-paced, whatever, blah blah blah. And then telling about education, what you learn in university. Say you be internship before or working, then you tell what you did beforehand. What you have. Let's say you earn certification, what kind of participation, let's say you attend of conference, whatever you can put over there. CV is kind of give impression to hiring manager or the management people to know that you are really passionate about this. And this you can tell about your skill. So what kind of skill that you know? You know how to do configuration a server. You know how to set up Active Directory. You know how to communicate forest level to child domain, child forest levels, for example. And then most of people that sometimes do not put is language. Why is language important? Let's take example one of my experience job interview. So one of the company, soccer company, interview me. Apparently, they have a Japan client. So when they see CV that, oh, you know Japanese, we have a Japanese client and we're looking at people that know a bit Japanese from Japan client. That's going to be your first opportunity to join with them. And lastly, you can use your networking as your reference. That's why networking is really important. This is my standard template of resume. You can use it or you don't want, up to you lah. But this is the way I always do. And most of the time, I can say 90% are able to land job interview, but not land the job. Land job interview is different than land the job. And then when you're preparing for IV, there are 16. Time, upper cap, introduce, star, honesty, ask them. So time is, for example, they already set your interview, like say 9 a.m. Make sure 8:50 you're already there, sit there and prepare and join. Be early. And then let's say the interview doesn't mention upper camp or whatever, just upper camp. Wear smart casual, show who you are, you, and then let the hiring manager know who you. That's always I do. And then when you introduce, I always have a read. For example, hi, my name is Johari. I'm from. For example, I just recently graduated uh, cybersecurity and network from TISA University. I'm reading how to intro yourself. And then number four, star. So this one be a task for you guys to do research. Star interview. They will tell a lot of articles to guide you how to approach using star. And then number five is honesty. Let's say the hiring manager asking you a very high level of technical. Let's say, oh, you do not know. Just be honest. Say you don't know. Because as management, we don't expect you know to know everything because we know we're hiring a fresh graduate, but we purposely throw very high level of question to know what character you are. Because some people or candidate that we interview, they pretend to act smart, which is red flag for me. And then lastly, when you finish all interview wherever, ask them, for example, what do you experience working with, let's say, a Dell company? How do you feel? Why you stay there for 5 years? Just it sound stupid, whatever, but from there you know what's your company, how the situation is, because you're asking from their perspective to tell you how the working environment over there. So from there you get a rough idea. Is it that company is your idea, what you wanted to do, or something opposite? Then lastly, is fly to the moon. Don't stop, but move forward. So I got the job. Is it the end? No. Don't the end or once you get the job. Because once you get the job, don't set yourself as a comfort zone. Because once you're in comfort zone, then it's gonna be dangerous for you. So this is three things that I always highlighted of myself: skill, set goal, and soft skill. Skill. Let's say in your team they have 20 people. Learn something that other people don't have to show that you're valued to fast promoted. Because I saw a couple of my friends in my circle, they get promoted very, very fast. Let's say he's 26, but he already in above senior level. I think he working as advisory level, which is very impressive with his age. So he has a something skill that not everyone have, which is another. So second, set goal. What you look yourself in 10 years or 5 years. Don't set a goal something like unachievable. For example, let's say I set myself in 5 years to be, let's say, chief financial officer, which is out of a track. It sounds ridiculous. For you to, to achieve your goal in 5 years, which is very hard. Maybe you set your goal in 5 years. I would like to become promoted in senior level or maybe medium level. And then in 10 years, I would like to achieve a few skill set in order for me to move further than that to management level. And lastly, third is soft skill. So I probably noticed a few, let's say, internship or new joiner, they're very hard to speak out their mind because they are very afraid because they are not very comfortable with their environment. And then you need to learn how to speak yourself. Let's say, let's take example, couple example. Let's say you be invited to lunch this particular place, but very expensive. You just be confident and say, "Oh, sorry, I have a plan. I would like to decline." Something like kind of scenario. Just be confident, whatever. Learn to speak what you wanted, and learn how to communicate with people. So Once you have this all soft skill, inshallah, you can move further and further. Because cybersecurity is big, you can see on the top right, they have a lot of sector or area, so you can go wherever you wanted. So, lastly, when you join company, I encourage everyone to apply graduate technologies for MBOT. So, MBOT is Malaysia Board of Technology. I believe that's the correct. Oh, sorry, Malaysia Board of Technologies. So, in there, you can get. Have you see a title like TS, Technology Specialist? In order for you to get that, you need to apply graduate technologies and a 3 year working experience. So, if you have this kind of title, things can help boost your career wise. Lastly, that's it? No. Do job interview every 6 months to assess your marketability. This means in 6 months or a year, try to go apply job interview profile to test what you skill or whatever you learn, what kind of certification you have. Is it relevant to the market right now or not? And another thing you can look is practice your soft skill because job interview is the way of you selling yourself, marketing yourself. I think that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your time to tanya. Kalau masa IB interview tu tanya macam soalan teori, but kita tak ingat, but kita tahu macam mana nak buat dia, how we respond. Okay, let's say dia throw sound teori, saya pun pernah kena lah ditanya benda ni. And then normally this me, refer back number 5 in this honesty. So tell them lah, like, I'm sorry, I don't remember clearly, but I know how it's worked. Tell all the process A until Z. People will know. Even that time during as I tell lah, Dell Technology interview me, they're asking me what is reverse and bind shell. I always use this thing like every day. Then suddenly they ask through this kind of question. I like how? I know reverse shell will be one direct connection, bind shell that we open the part, whatever. Just explain in term that you understand lah. They will understand. That's my most of the example advice I give lah. Out there.
I would like to ask,
Yes.
what are the main difference between interviewing in Malaysia and compared to the UK?
So what's the difference between Malaysia and UK? So I think number one gonna be big difference is communication. So over there using English, over here using Malay and Bahasa Rojak. Macam I pun Bahasa Rojak. Because in UK you cannot Bahasa Rojak lah. That's number one obvious reason. And second, in terms of technical, how to put it word, like my experience, job interview bila cakap soal technical, my high level technical. And normally diorang filtered yang bagus ataupun tak bagus. In first stage terus technical, tak ada evaluate human behavior, macam mana your character, tak ada. That one after your technical baru diorang evaluate. So that's my experience. They throw kind of, let's say, programming Python and ask lah, what's this program work for? And then they will ask, grill you in methodology so nicely. Let's say you know to do manual pen testing, how you do it. Let's say in they give you a scenario that you cannot have access to the internet to Google it, then how you going to encounter that? All this question kind of sound stupid, but for them it's very important. Uh, and then I think the way of the character very straightforward. So if in first impression they don't like, they will terminate your interview by saying they decline you, that kind of stuff lah. And I think this very not all. Sometimes they have a racist in term of religion. Let's say they in Muslim name they will reject, that kind of thing. Always encounter lah. For me it's common. So what you can do, you kat negara orang, you kena hadap lah benda ni. By explain lah. Any question to stage? Hi, I have a question about cybersecurity certification other than OSCP, which are considered as high value cert in Malaysia. Okay, um, this about me about certification. Again, let's refer back to the first stage, is you need to know what you want to be. Let's say if you want to become information security, then you focus cert related to information security. Let's say if you want to become pen tester, then you focus cert pen testing, such as OCP. So, but for me, this my personally lah. Normally, I will take certification yang ada discounted. Let's take example Black Friday. I take lah beli exam during the sale. Sebab kita kan student, kita kena harapkan duit marah or PTBTS something like that allowance. But I don't macam ni kan, I put myself lah as you guys. Zaman dulu kita pun susah lah. Yang kita pun ada duit cukup-cukup untuk makan, minum je. So kita pun kena nak letak duit untuk beli certification agak payah lah sedikit untuk kita sebab kita ada family, everything, ada banyak lah thing. So from me, my advice, number one, you need to know what you want to be. And number second, if you want to become, let's say, pen testing, buy certification masa during discount. Tak kisahlah apa kind of certification. From there, you use as justified. Let's say I take all from Inland Security. Inland Security kat Malaysia tak famous. Tapi kenapa I still take? So I use that as a justification yang saya tahu buat pen testing and saya tahu buat security analyst or vulnerability management. I hope can answer your question lah. This is my style lah because I'm very cheapskate. Sebab nak spend 5,000, 6,000 untuk certification during masa student tu agak susah lah bagi saya. Kalau masa kerja tu, kita boleh ambil lah. Kerana bonding dengan company. Ada masalah for me lah kalau dah kerja. But this when you student wise lah. Anyone would like to ask question?
Aku. Soalan aku macam ni. Contoh, kalau macam environment dalam kerja tu toxic, contoh staff-staff semua pun memang kuat cakap belakang. So macam mana aku mau urus benda macam ni? Should I stop ke atau I just stay tapi mungkin boleh guna cara lain? Setuju.
So for me, benda ni cakap kita pergi mana-mana mesti ada benda environment yang kita tak suka. Itu benda yang fakta, nak tak nak benda tu memang ada. So this my character lah. I'm tak sure lah boleh applicable to everyone. I'm not very good advising about this. Normally I don't give a damn about them because why? Saya tahu saya punya level kat mana. Orang punya level kat bawah I. So why I need to bother, let's say, semua, and why need to bother with small people yang tahu cakap belakang but still wise tak ada value. Boleh lah jilat contact manager whatever, but in term when doing technical assessment, kita leading everything, manager akan nampak your value. So let's take example in 3 years dia orang tak ada promote but promote yang orang lain, then it's a sign for you to leave the company because it's very toxic. Because for me, nak in future, you need to adapt and learn how to adapt all this kind of toxicness. Even in my current company, sorry to say, I'm the only one Malay, all the Chinese. So how I'm going to adapt all this environment? So I learn, adapt it. And then let's say in future, in this thing encounter again, but I already know how to adapt myself. So let's say you nak berperang, sediakan peluru sebelum berperang, something like that kind of concept lah. Hope can answer it. Will you suggest job hopping as alternative to with pangkat and get experience? And when is the right time to job hop? So for me, job hopping pun tak bagus because when we see the CV, like say, budak Mamat ni kerja 45 bulan dah jam untuk kerja title. Okay, bolehlah dia jam and then let's say senior role. And then bila hiring process, oh dia ni dah pernah experience ni, kita terima. From there, I take this scenario, you want to become senior, but your skill or your mindset is not even senior level, tak kena drill nicely dengan manager, to let's say doing project management, all this kind of stuff lah. People will know which level you are and will give down bad reputation. So normally I will use job hopping where I will like say in my current industry or current environment, I already do everything what the JD ask. So JD is job description. Let's say they ask me to do pen test buat benda ni semua. Kalau benda ni kita dah cover semua nicely, macam tak ada benda nak belajar ataupun new issue kita tak dapat learning, then I will take consideration as job hopping. That's one. And second, I will take consideration when working environment. Let's say dah berapa tahun duduk sini tapi tak sesuai what you wanted to do. Or you kena scam. They say, oh tak apa, you buat pen test, buat benda ni. Sekali bila join, you tak buat pen test. Sekali you kena buat phishing, assessment, infosec, benda jauh daripada what you wanted to be. So that's the right time for you to jump lah. So let's say if you jump and then people ask, kenapa jump? Oh, current responsibility doesn't align what I wanted to be. Because what I wanted to be in future was to become pen tester, not infosec security or something like that. Because you know your standard, you know your level, where you want to be. So achieve it. That's why in my slide I always tell, set your standard, never fall in your standard. Jangan sebabkan rezeki kita jatuhkan maruah. Something like that lah. Kita pun ada benda kita nak achieve. Let's say me, ada benda juga saya nak achieve juga dalam hidup. Takkan kita nak biarkan benda tu berlarutan kan. So any question out there yang nak tanya? Saya tak ada orang nak tanya dah. 10. Okay lah. Dah kalau tak ada orang nak tanya, I will end all my presentation today. I think I will share my slide shortly.